Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where we get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. All right, it's Saturday Hockey Talk. Nobody here in the room with me, I don't think. And got the game on. It's 1-0 for Vegas. Pretty early on, it was with less than 2 minutes they scored. A pretty fast-paced game, I got to tell you. Yeah. Anyway, got that. Trying to think what else. There's not much else as far as news right now. There is that I get a bit of news about Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think he came out yesterday or the day before. I put out a video today about it, so it's out there. Doing quite well, actually. Surprised the hell out of me. And yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about pretty much whatever you want. So if you're here, whoever is here, because there's one person here, say hi in the chat. I realize probably a lot of people are watching the game. I honestly thought there was no game tonight. I thought there was no games on Saturday for the whole series. So I'm a little caught off guard. There's a game tonight. And it takes away, obviously, from people coming in here. So if I didn't know there was a game, I would have put that on my thumbnail and then maybe it got people in. Oh, well. So if you're here, say hi in the chat and we'll go from there. Talk about whatever you want. Maybe I'll do some play-by-play to pass the time. Let's see. Yeah, no comments. So let's see. So far, 1-0 for VGK. Shots are 6-4 for Vegas. And right now, we're 11 and a half minutes left in the first. So 8.5 minutes gone. Stan the Man, how you doing? You did listen to my video on PLD. It was informative. I say no to a trade. I think I'm still leaning on the no side, but yeah, it all depends on what you get him for, right? It all depends what you get him for. Believe me, if they can get him for the Florida pick and not much else, I'm good. You know what I mean? So my glasses are dirty. I'm gonna clean them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that they necessarily need them. So in that, do they have to go out and get him? Is it do or die? No, I don't think so. But I'll tell you this though: if Montreal doesn't trade for him, they're not getting him. He's not going to free agency. This deal they're going to sign. He's going to sign with some team. It's going to be a long-term deal. He's going to sign because that's what they're down to. Is he gave a list, and those are teams he's willing to sign with, and they're going to negotiate a deal. Winnipeg's probably going to sign him to that deal and then trade him. So, yeah, I think if Montreal does want him and they think, well, we got to get him, then this is their opportunity, and that will be it after that, I think. So it'll put it to rest. Either we get him or we ain't getting him. We can shut up about it after this. Definitely think, though, that if they get him, I don't see, how do I want to put it? His asking, like he's going to ask for like 9. I don't see him getting that here anyway. So, I mean, just as if he's serious about wanting 9 million, Montreal's not giving him 9 million. I don't see that. Hey, Renegade Man. If Vegas wins the cup, Gary Bettman definitely going to pop a hard one. You have 5 goalies that will get a cup ring. Lehner will be the only one who won't have his name on the cup because he didn't play all year. Yeah, he was injured. And for Lehner, that kind of sucks that way. Anyway, I'm not going. I hope Vegas doesn't win personally. But I don't necessarily like either team, but I like Florida better than Vegas. I don't know why that is, though. All right, so talk to me here in the chat. We got 7 people in here, so what's your excuse to not talk to me? Yeah, say whatever you guys want to talk about. The floor is yours. So I hope that somebody will talk to me. It'd be kind of boring if nobody talks to me tonight. Stan the Man, I agree with you 100%. PLD not worth $9 million. Like I said in the video, I think the most for me, the most I'd give him is 7. That's the most, and I'd rather get him for less. But honestly, he made $6 million last year. Yeah, I mean, I think he's 7's okay. So they can, if they are assured that they're going to be able to sign him to that, and they give up the first and like a Christian Dvorak, something along that line. Like, I'm happy with that. I'll go for that. Filibuster, how's it going, man? What say you? While I was doing the video, I was I think I had recorded it, so I'm watching it back after editing it. I think that was it. No, I was editing it. I hit a part where I was talking about the lists. He gave a list of or he's going to, of 5 or 6 teams. I don't know. I came up with a song. It's a Christmas song, but it doesn't matter for this. So I think I might be doing another song. I gotta see if I can get the copyright, if it's an issue or not. I think it is, but I might do it anyway. Devo and Anderson would be a fair price to pay for PLD. No, you're overpaying. You ask me, that's an overpayment. You're not giving Anderson and DVO for PLD. Why? PLD is just a slightly better, to me, Josh Anderson. A Josh Anderson with offense, like without it sputtering. No, I'm not giving Anderson. If I'm getting PLD, I kind of want Anderson there too. Imagine you got these big guys. No. Be foolish to abandon Andy, but fair is fair. I don't think it's fair. And quite frankly, I think Hughes likes Andy. I think they want to keep Andy. So Devo and Anderson is too much going that way. Too much dollars going that way. No, I agree. It's too much. It's an overpayment. It's not the dollar value on their contracts. It's an overpayment in talent. I think a lot of people are a little bit too high on Dubois. I mean, Dubois is a good player and all that. Like to have him at the right price. I'd be okay to have him. But, I mean, he's not more than he is, guys. And if you're giving somebody $9 million, I mean, they better be producing more than a point a game. And, yeah. One of the best things about TV shows in the 20th century is the Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween specials. Do you like that? Yeah. When I was a kid. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just that's the song that came into my head. I actually wrote some lines in my head that I forgot by the time I wrote down the idea. But I'll come up with them again. Stances, I'm sure that if the Habs want a power forward, they can get a better player and cheaper. If it's $9 million, I agree with you 100%. As far as, if the price is right, no, I think Dubois, skills-wise, his talent, just go by that, not the other stuff that is other baggage. But at the right price, yeah, not at $9 million. ABL, let's say some other team trades for him and he signs a 1-year deal, then he is a UFA and wants to be in Montreal. I think the Habs have the leverage then to get him in under Nick's number. Yeah, but you're overlooking something that's very important here. He's given a 5 to 16 list to the team. They are going to, with Pat Brisson, they are going to make sure that those teams want to have him on their roster, and then they're going to make a deal. They're going to work out a deal long term that Winnipeg's going to sign him to and then trade him. That means he ain't going on the UFA market. So that 1 year and then get him is over. That's gone. That's done. It's not happening. It's a new scene, man. Yeah, listen, that's just, I don't think he's going to UFA at all. Renegade Man, just hope Will Smith falls to 5 so the Habs can get him. I agree with you. I'm going to be okay with Leonard if they do that. Okay, so Hughes had, I don't know, he spoke somewhere. I can't find it. He apparently said they are taking the best talent available. I think that's the words. Everyone's saying, well, that means they're taking me. He's taking Michkov. He's taking Michkov. If he's there, he's taking me. I don't know that means that or not, but that's what he said. But I agree. I'd like to see Smith here. Heard about, but I'm usually wrong in what they do or whatever. So maybe Smith isn't the guy. I heard about the Carter Hart rumors to the Habs. I think those rumors are out for Montreal. I don't think Montreal's in on that. I really don't. Let's put it this way. From what I'm reading since then, I don't think they're in on him. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, Ray, but that's because my feet are there. You want to lie on them. I can't help it. Dog's always on my feet. And then she wonders why she gets kicked sometimes by accident. I can't help it. Lucas, my voice. How's it going, Lucas? Joey, by the way, Joey, I don't know if you've been in before or not. If you haven't, I just want to say welcome to the channel. Good to see you. And if you have been, welcome back. Sorry, I can't remember everybody. Could it be that Montreal Canadiens are, by the way, you spelled Canadians wrong. That's Canadians, like we're all from Canada. No A at the end, it's an E. Just say, just to say, sorry. They're downplaying the Michkov so they can get it. No. If you think because the Montreal Canadiens don't talk about Michkov, the 4 teams in front of them don't know about him, don't say anything they won't hear. Come on. That's ridiculous. They're not taking Michkov, or they're not taking him or not taking him because of what Montreal says. Come on. You're reading too many things people are writing on Twitter. I mean, I read the same thing, but it's ridiculous. San Jose is rumored to be big fans of Will Smith. Yeah, I'm worried that, I think you guys, we all have to get used to them taking probably Ryan Leonard, because I kind of think Michkov is going to be the one that's there of those top 5. I don't know that Montreal's taking him or not. I don't know that they're not, but I don't know that they are. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of coming out recently. I saw that with San Jose. So I kind of think, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It'd be all funny if it would be funny if we all they got Michkov, and 3 years later, man, aren't we glad they got Michkov? Like, that could happen. I don't know. Still 1-0 in the game. 7 minutes to go. Shots are tied at 8. Wow, that's been a few minutes. They haven't got too many shots in the last little bit, so. By the way, I think I got I'm not sure if I got 28 or 29 names on this. At the end of the PLD video, and this should appear now on I think it'll be on the end of every video. It's a thank you page for, I call it Rick's Picks. So it's for the members. There are some long-time subscribers on there, and a name or two at random. So check it out at the end of the video if your name's on there. And if your name is on there, thank you. And if your name's not on there, thank you for being around. It's something I've been meaning to do for a long time, and the idiot me hasn't, and now I have. Just to give a thank you for all you guys. My fault for not being done earlier than this. Renegade Man says, I'm glad Caulfield is signed. Flyers are rumored to offer sheet him as a way to redeem themselves for drafting New York over Caulfield. But you got to remember, offer sheets mean nothing if the player doesn't sign. I don't believe Caulfield would have signed any, so I wouldn't have been worried about that. But again, Phil, you think Caulfield was signing an offer sheet? I mean, no, he wasn't. So I think people forget that a lot of times. Just because it's sent doesn't mean anything. I mean, because think about it. What about those 3 teams send them an offer sheet? Are they all valid? No. Wait, now, Phil, I'm not sure what you said there. Your content honestly is thanks aplenty. I'm not. What do you mean by that? I mean, if it means thanks, you're welcome, and I appreciate. Always I appreciate you guys. Um, but I'm not sure what you meant there. Are you offering me your wife? Like I'm not. No, I know you're not. I don't know if he wouldn't have signed, but Habs would have matched. Well, yeah, but he wouldn't have signed. The team said, both the team and Caulfield both said offer sheets aren't a thing here. Braden Point. What about Braden Point? I don't know. What about Braden Point? Oh, A-Hop is Braden. How did you go from A-Hop to Braden Point? What kind of spell check do you have? What do I think of the Habs looking to get another first-round pick or move up from the Florida pick to get Ethan Gauthier? I think I might have heard about that once, about Ethan Gauthier. Don't know much about him, to be very honest with you. Are they going to try to get another first-round pick? I imagine if they could, they will. Yeah, for sure. But I don't, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. So, I mean, I've heard that rumor that they're trying to get another first-round pick. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Sufka. He famously said he wouldn't sign an offer sheet. What are you talking about? Braden Point? Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't know that situation. Excuse me. Yeah, I believe Caulfield when he said that, and I believe the management when they said that they weren't worried about offer sheets, and they had nothing to worry about because the deal got done before offer sheets came into play. At this point, who do you see playing on the wing with Cole and Suzuki? It's a good question. A little too early to call, I think. It won't be Raphael Harvey-Pinard. It depends on, look, if they get Dubois, could be Doc, could be Dubois. If they, it still could be Doc. Don't know. Depends what they get at the draft. Although I think any guy that they're going to get at the draft is not going to be in town this season. So I got to think. I'm not even thinking Slavkovsky here either. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll give that a guess closer to the training camp. Quick strikes. Braden Point declined an offer sheet from the Montreal Canadiens. Igor Nikonov have been re-signed. So you're saying that Habs offer sheeted Braden Point, but he didn't sign it. That's why we never heard about it. Matt is in the house. Hey, NHL Hockey News Reports. Good to see you, buddy. Been a while. Matt says, ooh, I'm going to answer Stan. If we trade for PLD, Doc will play that wing. If not, my money is on Anderson. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. I mean, to start with, it'll be Anderson probably. And maybe even depending on the matchup, right? Maybe one of the young kids has a fantastic camp and, makes the team and he's there. I mean, you can see that, like a Joshua Roy. Hey, what if Joshua Roy comes to camp and he just bowls them over? I can see Roy being on the right wing there. Something like that, Will Slavkovsky play in the AHL next season? I think he should personally now. I know he does not want to, and I'm not sure how management feels about it, to be honest with you. I'm going to say this. If Slav has a unbelievable training camp, he's in Montreal. If he has or less, he's in Laval. How's that? Sufka, as always, Sufka going to be off topic. So, Rick, are we alone in the universe? What's up with the UFOs and whistleblowers lately? I've always been a UFO believer. I've come to question it a little bit of late, but not seriously. I think it's kind of. I would think it's kind of be weird if we're not. If we are alone. If we're alone in this universe, it's probably because we got past what's that line? there's a theory about, I can't remember what that line is called. If we're alone in the universe, we got past that, and it's because they can't get to us. If we're not, then we didn't get past this line, and I don't know. One of them's scary, one of them's not. Uh, um, so there you go. I think we are not alone in the universe. Getting PLD in only a 3-year commitment, maximum any for PLD anyway. Is only a 3-year commitment. I go over that in the video. I think Marty St. Louis could be a factor there with PLD if he comes here. I think he can fall in love with Marty. Marty could bring out a lot in him, and then you have a guy that is performing. The fans aren't on him and loves it, and he could stay. If he comes here and he struggles, though, it could be right. He could be in 2-3 years asking for his way out. Like if he goes through what Drouin went through, that he was going to ask for a trade because he's already done that. Like that's what I think. So. Allen is a huge trade chip, really. Depends, really. It depends on what they're going to do. If they're going to bring in another goalie, then yeah. But if they say, listen, he signed, we're going to go with these two guys, I could see that. Well, on the UFO thing, it's true that there's government people and pilots and stuff like that. They're really coming out now and just saying, yeah, it's real, So I got to say it's real. I don't know any more than that though. Phil, you put UFA, and I was thinking, keep in mind UFO years, not 2 UFO years. What does he mean UFO year? It's UFA. Yeah. PLD for Devo and Harris, not giving up Harris. And you know what? They're not taking that. You got that first round pick from Florida. That's what they want. You're not getting anything without that first round pick. Marty did good work with Doc. He did. I think Marty could be a key in something like that. And Caulfield is just Caulfield. You mean from what he said about it that he didn't really do much, but he did, right? He did. He gave him the ice and said, "Do what you do," without the pressure of this and the system and that and this and that. He did a lot for him that way. So, who else has Marty brought the best out of? Jeff Petrie, when he was horribly upset to be here, they hired Marty. Jeff Petrie turned his game around completely. That's a veteran. You look at a kid like Raphael Harvey-Pinard. Just look at any of the players. They'll tell you themselves, he's fantastic. We love him. And he's brought the best out of them. So, yeah, that's a bit of a cynical thing to say there, Bubble Tea. Phil says also to pork with the old man, Yodro for 3 times 2. What old man? Who are you talking about? No, I know who you're talking about. No. He's just trying to fuck around with me. Jonathan Drew had 3 times 2 million. Like, why? Why? 3 more years of frustration. Why do we need that? No. Matt says, I'm really interested in how Mayu looks in camp, regardless of how he performs. I would prefer he play a year in Laval to get the kinks worked out of his defensive game, but that offensive skill is fire. When you say how he looks in camp, you realize that Logan Mayu will not be able to play in any preseason games, right? Like, I know you want, but I don't think he's gonna be in camp in Laval. Yes. He's not cleared for Montreal for NHL. He's not going to be in camp. BL, is the moon really made of green cheese? I didn't know you were up there. Guru, I thought I saw an earlier comment from you. Am I wrong? I thought I did. And then again, I didn't say guru, so I guess I didn't. Safka says Bob Lazar was the guy when I really started to believe in UFOs. It is worth to check his Joe Rogan interview. I don't watch anything with Joe Rogan in it. No more. So no. If anything, being on Joe Rogan actually hurts his credibility, if you ask me. I started getting into UFOs when I was a kid. So you're talking in the 70s. And I'll tell you one of the first, I think one of the first shows that, I don't know if it got me into it or just like I was just happy to see stuff about UFOs. I don't know. First of all, there was Project Blue Book. Was that? It was a TV show, but it was In Search Of, which was with Spock, Leonard Nimoy, In Search Of, and it was UFOs. And I remember watching that, and I really got into the UFOs after that. So yeah, I've been doing that into that for a long time. I'm pretty sure I might have seen one once, but you know, BL will be calling the Douglas to have them come pick me up if I talk about it. Lucas, I really don't want to have to give away too much for PLD. No, they can't give. I mean, they're not going to either. When we can wait a year and negotiate with them. Nope, you're not listening to me. You're not. You guys aren't listening to me. PLD is giving the team 5 or 6 teams that he's willing to sign long term with. Right? That's the key. His agent and the team are going to talk to those teams. If they're interested to do this, Brisson starts negotiating. They work out a contract that Winnipeg signs and trades them to that team for 8 years. So I don't see how he's going to be a UFA. Got to listen to me, and it's in the video. And I say you got to listen to me because it's the 3rd time tonight I'm saying this. So you can throw out that we're going to, in a year we'll go. No, that's not going to happen now. Hey, Bruce. Give them the Florida first pick. No problem. I say, show PLD we want him. Show him he is worth it. I say to the cancer baby in the room, the guy that wants out of every team, the guy that just is he's not happy. You're going to kiss his ass. Really? I don't like that. I got to say, I don't like that. You're just playing into what don't do that. Don't do that. Kiss his ass then. You screwed over your last 2 teams. We want you. I'm not doing that. I'm animated tonight. I took my microdose a little later. I don't know. It shouldn't still be affecting me, but I think it is. Petrie turned into our best D-man since Markov. Definitely. Matheson, the teacher. Matheson's going to be good. He's going to be like Petrie. Petrie came into his own here. Matheson is already doing that. I would give up Justin Barron in a package for PLD. I like Barron, but he's not someone you will miss either. You have Mayu and Hudson in the system. They may. I don't know that. I doubt that Winnipeg's looking for the defenseman anyway. Yeah, I don't think Winnipeg's looking for a defenseman here when they're getting rid of Dubois if they're doing that. I mean, they're going to be losing Hellebuck probably, Scheifele, Wheeler, and Dubois. There's no defenseman there. So I doubt they're asking us for a defenseman. Hey, Petty, how you doing, buddy? Check out Zakaria Stitchin. What the hell's that? Papa Smurf turned CC Ryder around. Are we talking about that's Cole Caulfield? He says no. He didn't turn him around. All he did was give him the freedom to and he says he doesn't. He says he doesn't know what he can do for Cole. He can teach him about goal scoring, but he says Cole did most of that himself. He just gave him the freedom. So the Book of Enoch, isn't that like a religious book or something? Or like if you read one of the pages out loud, you summon demons or something? No. I believe Mayu may have his hearing prior to camp or start of camp. I don't. To what end though? I mean, I don't think Mayu's ready for the NHL. So I don't think that. I think you're going to have a hearing for the AHL because the AHL has to approve him as well. So, I mean, that's what I think. And then once the AHL approves him and he plays there, well, the NHL is not going to turn him down unless he reoffends, which he's not going to do. Matt says if he gets cleared for the AHL, he's cleared for both, I believe. No, he's not. I know he has a meeting with Evilman to discuss it after the Cup final. Well, there you go. Maybe the NHL will clear him first, and I was wrong about that. But I do know this. It's not the same. I heard this. Oh, it's a little while back. I heard this that, he has to get cleared separately from both. But if he gets one, he'll get the other. He was there when I still liked Joe Rogan. Yes, but because I liked Joe Rogan at the time, it's more because I was not well informed about Joe Rogan. So now that I am more well informed about Joe Rogan, it doesn't matter that I liked him before because I don't now. So whatever I liked about him before was a lie anyway. Phil, I agree with you on that. I'm not ready to give up on Barron either. I don't think Joe Rogan's amazing at anything because, I don't disagree with you about his interview skills and all that. But the problem is the rest of his bullshit overrides all that to me now. And I can't know. And you know what? He's got such a huge audience that he's spouting a lot of bullshit, and it's harmful. But your coworker, Renegade Man, cannot be a UFO. I really doubt that. Could be an alien, but not even. Listen, if they say aliens are amongst us and they're walking around and they have been for a long time, and you never know. You could be married to one, be currently screwing one right now. I mean, I don't know. That's what they say. If Michkov contract ends in 2-3 years, can Montreal sign him today for 2-year deal? No, they can't do that. And the problem is too with Michkov, there's still, even though he says whatever and the team says whatever, there's still the possibility they extend him for 2 years. I think that's a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen, honestly, at this point. It seems Michkov wants to come here. And it seems like they're not going to hold him back. But not till his contract's done. The PLD thing is same as Tkachuk. Sign and trade if they find a partner. It's exactly the same as Tkachuk. It's exactly what they're talking about. That's the model they're going to work on, and that's what they're going to do. So he's signing a long-term deal. He's not going to be an RFA, a UFA in a year. So basically, if Montreal wants him, they have to trade for him now or forever hold their peace. Or, like I said in the video, wait 3 years. Probably be trading for him then. Which, honestly, would be closer to when you actually need him. Phil says, old man, I still have a full copy of In Search of. Really? The old shit? I used to like that show. And all the Nimoy stuff, the Shatner stuff, and believe it or not, the X-Files, Outer Limits. Awesome. Shit, I mean, Leonard Nimoy in Search of, that goes back to the 70s. I was watching that when we lived on the farm, and we lived on the farm in the late 70s. Fear. No, I don't watch Fear Factor. Well, the Joe Rogan, that was Fear Factor, wasn't it? Twilight Zone. Rick Seligman thinks he's talking to a lot of people on his screen. Little does he know, he has entered the Twilight Zone. Book of Enoch. Giants, angels, boffing humans. Enoch being super duper promoted was removed from official Bible since a bunch of time ago. So I'm right. There's some religious stuff there. It's linked to the Bible. I think I saw a movie like that, the horror in the Book of Enoch. Papa Smurf and CC Ryder see eye to eye, literally. Yes, they do. No. Knowing what I know about Joe Rogan, about how blasé he is about the damage he causes by his misinformation and bullshit, I don't see how I can love a guy like that. Ellen, good to see you. And I saw there was a comment today. It's been a while. Good to see you, Ellen. Mayu turns pro if... Well, he'll turn pro. He's going to go to the AHL. He'll turn pro doing that. But I don't think he's not going to be in Montreal next year. Even if Bettman says, yes, you can play both, whatever he can say, he's not going to be in Montreal. Maybe, though, like he'll come up for a game or two near the end of the season. I can see that, but I don't think more than that. What's new, Radfield? New going grad. What? News radio. I never liked news radio. You're not going to sell me on that one. Rick, you think PLD be the Habs this season, or would be passed on him? And who will Habs pick and with their number 5 pick? I mean, that's who's there. Don't know who's going to be there. So it's, whoever's going to be there, or Ryan Leonard. Wait. Well, for PLD, I don't know. I don't think it's set in stone. I think a lot of Habs fans think PLD's coming here. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see a deal. I said this in the video. I don't see a deal there, right? I don't see a deal where you could say, yeah, both teams are going to be happy with that. No, I can see a deal where Montreal fleeces them, or where they ask too much and get too much. So they're happy. We're not. We're happy. They're not. I don't see one where, yeah, we're both happy. I don't think that's going to be. Because what they want, I don't think Montreal wants to give up. And what Montreal is going to offer, I don't think they're going to want. Plus, I think other teams in the running have more than Montreal and will offer it. And then they'll get the job done, I think. I think someone actually convinced me of, I forget who it was too, LA, good. That's a good front runner for him, I think. Or, a city like that. The guy who was the highest bidder for the Sens dropped out because he got tired of waiting. Yeah, they're going to blow the sale too. That'd be funny. Maybe Ryan Reynolds will be back in it. Who knows? Didn't want to... Wait, what? Sorry, Phil, who are you talking about spending $1 billion? Oh, Joe, BL, if you don't have Joe Rogan on my list, you should have already. I've said this a few times. I've seen news radio because, back in the day, sometimes that's what was on and there wasn't a lot of choice. And yeah, it's not my show. If Michkov wasn't Russian or was in juniors like the OHL or WHL, would have been the second pick. I don't know that that's true, because don't forget, Michkov is not a big size guy, right? So he might have all the talent in the world, but he doesn't have the size either. Now Bedard doesn't have the size really either, but I believe Michkov's even smaller than Bedard. So I don't know that he would be the second pick, but I don't think teams would be, oh, well, we're gonna pass on him because who knows what, he'd be here already. You're getting him pretty quickly, relatively quickly, and there's that question's not there. So he we wouldn't be talking about why we're not wanting Michkov. Phil, you could probably talk for about that for the next half hour, and you're still not going to sell me on it. You might sell one of these other guys though. And I'm not saying anything. I love some of those guys that were on that show. I love Maura Tierney. I like her. I like a lot of them, but I didn't like the show. I think PLD is this sign and trade as a negotiating tool. Habs is going to get him. It's funny how PLD and Caulfield has the same agent. Few hours, Cole's contract was signed. The news of PLD trade rumor. Okay, that's the comment. I didn't answer your comment because I saw it not too long before coming in to do this. I didn't really have the time to type you an answer. How do I want to answer that? A lot of people are making something of that the same agent, they signed Caulfield, and then boom, he's announcing he's not, PLD's announcing he's not signing there. It could be just a coincidence in this way, a timing thing, right? He's done now with Cole Caulfield, and that's probably taken up a lot of his time. On to the next client, do that. I mean, I don't know if there's any specific tie there. I think people just reading too much into things. So I don't know. I'm not gonna go there for that. JFed 9 million is way too much. I mean, he might get 9 million. He's just not gonna get it from Montreal. PLD will get more than 8 million. We are buying UFA years, not RFA years. Cap going up. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I still don't think he's worth it. I think you give him 7.5. I could go as high as 7.5, but once you get, I think that's it. I don't think his ceiling necessarily is that high for 9 million. I'm sorry, I don't. I can see PLD being a perennial, in a really bad, an off year around 60, and on a good year maybe hitting 80. He's somewhere between 60 and 80 points a year, in my opinion. I don't know that that's $9 million. When I think Suzuki's going to outpace him, and Suzuki's getting under 8. Now I get the coming off his ELC stuff that was mentioned by Hughes, but I don't know. Ellen, you might be right, and I said this in the video that if PLD is Montreal or bust, Hughes should be I'm fleecing them or bust, right? And get him at, you got all the leverage if that's the case, right? I don't think it's the case though. He's going to give a 5 or 6 team list, and he is willing to sign long term with those teams, and he will sign long term when he's traded because it'll be a sign and trade. So we're not getting him next year as a UFA, and I hope if we get him that we fleece them to get him. Hey Cam, how you doing, man? There you go. I think Cam's got it right. Same agent doesn't mean anything. There are NHL rules against that kind of interference. That's right. And listen, just because well, here's the thing. If you're thinking that in the Cole Caulfield negotiations that Brisson talked to Hughes about PLD, sorry, but that's tampering. And there's no way that happened. So that did not happen. Because that's tampering, and that is absolutely illegal in the NHL to do that. Do left-handed people hold their hose with their left hand and right-handed people with their right hand? Or are we all ambidextrous when it comes with our own tools? Well, it depends what tool. I mean, I can hold it with either hand, a hose or my hose. It's the same thing. I don't know. I'm probably more accurate with my right hand because I'm right-handed. Phil says PLD 8 times 8.5 overpayment, and I don't believe that. I don't believe they're going to do that. That's too much. Yeah, I don't believe they're going to do that. Second period just started. 1-0 still. 12 shots apiece. Interesting game up there. Michkov and Bedard both 5'10", as reported. Michkov may be a little thicker, and when they've played in some tournaments, Michkov put up more points. Bedard is 5'9" and 3/4. He was just measured at the combine. I think Michkov is an inch smaller than that, and he is a bit lighter. Michkov is still under, I think he's like barely 150 pounds. So when you say thicker, no, I don't think so. Michkov, look at his weight. He's not a big guy. Or they haven't updated his weight. Because even just the other day I saw it, and it's still, he's light. Cam says as a 2C, maximum is 7 in his opinion. I agree with that. I said in my video 7. That's what I would offer. 8 times 7. He's a center, a huge center. It's kind of like Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone was a man. He's a big. I don't know why I'm thinking that. He's a center. He's a big center. That's how my brain works. What can I say? We used to give up New York Rangers captains and what? Bat Gomez for half his center depth. You got to do me a favor and get like spell check. I'm having trouble with your tonight. He's a center. I mean, huge. I don't know that you say huge. I mean, huge is 6'5", 6'6". He's 6'2" or 6'3". It's big. It's not huge. We used to give up. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying. PLD isn't getting $9 million from Hughes. He might get $8 million max. Oh yeah, he's not getting $9 million from Hughes, which might put the Habs out of the running, which is fine by me. I'm kind of true too, Ellen, but the rumors are really heating up and there's so much talk. I had to do my video. After that, yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit, and then I think we're going to shut up about him, and hopefully until something happens. But it's going to be talked about until something happens. We should see cap hit more like percent, but not percent. Percent, not dollars. Well, they do. If you look at like NHL, they'll show you that percentage of cap. Caulfield and Suzuki's cap hit 9.4%. Cap Friendly tells you. Go to Cap Friendly. They tell you the percentage. Cam, I believe you are right about. He says a GM was caught doing interference like that in the past, and the penalty was severe. I believe it was a first-round draft pick to the team that the player that he tampered with, something like that, or a huge fine, or probably a huge fine. and it was a long time ago, and nobody's done it since, or got caught since. Let's put it that way. Bedard looks like a mini tank. See, Bedard's the guy that's the thicker guy. Bedard's got the weight to him, and it doesn't have the size, but it's like Nick Suzuki. That's not Michkov. That's not Michkov. Bedard, stat-wise, averages more when they did the comparison. I saw some long-term projections, and Michkov actually projects probably to maybe get a little bit more, but there were some stats of his that were left out that they hadn't put in yet, and that would have brought it down. So Bedard actually is projected to be a better producer than Michkov, but I don't think by that much. 17 pull-ups, is that a record for who? What are you pulling up? You're pulling it up? What about down? Do you pull it up? You don't pull it down? Only up? 17 pull-ups is definitely not a record. Maybe for you it's a record, and that would be great, but it's not a record. As reported on HockeyDB, Michkov stats, why I said as reported, just check both. What did you check on again? Yeah, okay. But look at the weight. The weights, he's much lighter than Bedard. Last I checked. League average height is 6 feet. There we go. He gave Higgins and McDonough for Gomez and his $7.3 million contract. That was Bob Gainey did that. Who are you saying did that? That's Bob Gainey. Bob Gainey, great hockey player. Love Bob Gainey. Not the greatest GM. Hughes should target Adam Boquist from Columbus. I mean, but why do you say that? Is he available? Or you think because Columbus is looking to move him for some reason? Columbus is trying to build something there. They think they are anyway. I think they made a big misstep in Provorov, but they went out and got Damon Severson just yesterday, I think. So they're trying to build something. Wow, I got to the end of the comments. Columbus isn't selling, they're buying. I mean, that's the point I think I was trying to get to, Cam. Is right. I mean, why are they moving Boquist when they're bringing in all these guys? They're looking to build something, not rebuild, I don't think. I mean, they're looking to do their adjustment real quick. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Still 1-0 up here. Getting close to 5 minutes gone in the second. Vegas on the power play. All right, so anybody else talking to me or what? Been good so far. Good conversation so far. We're almost at an hour in. We'll go a little bit longer. Cam thinks they'll move Line A for better pieces, but they're not going to move Boquist. Wouldn't it be like, I know this won't happen, but man, would be funny if they trade Patrick Line to the Winnipeg Jets for Pierre-Luc Dubois. Just would be appropriate, wouldn't it? Hey, Paul, how you doing? Pull must mean chin-ups. Pull-ups are, well, isn't that what pull-ups are, basically? Pull-ups, chin-ups, aren't they the same thing? Maybe I'm wrong. There was a time when I was able to do a few of those. That time is not now. Cam, yeah, the same trade they did originally. Just reverse it back. It just, I saw somebody post that on Twitter today. I thought it was funny. They're not going to do it. Although, I think the person that posted that, I think they thought they would do that. I'm not sure. But I made this point in my video that they did trade Line and Roslovic to get Dubois. You got to think Winnipeg wants to get, something back, or it's a total loss. Even though they got 3 years out of it, it's kind of a loss. But I don't see how they're not going to, from Montreal, they're not going to get a big haul. They may elsewhere, but not from Montreal. Oh, I see. Okay, there you go. I get the difference. 2 different muscle groups. See. Would it be a big slap in the face for Habs fans? Would it be a big slap in the face for Habs fans if they trade for PLD? No, I don't think it's a slap in the face. Mostly because I don't like if they trade for PLD, it's not going to be you're not going to look at that deal and go, wow, man, we got fleeced on that. That's not going to happen. So, I don't think that's a slap in the face if it's a deal that makes sense. Does Hart for Allen sound good? To us, maybe not. To Philadelphia, it doesn't. You're talking straight up Hart for Allen? What, a 34-year-old goalie for a 24-year-old goalie? And one the backup, one's a starter? Like, I don't know. And I from what I've been reading, like since the other day when the Provorov trade happened, I don't know that there's any interest from the Habs for Hart, to be honest with you. And Cavs' Hart isn't being moved. And probably you're right. I personally think Briere was testing the waters to see what they could get, what the interest was, and if it's worth it. And I think he found out that not that there was no interest, but maybe the offers or what he, weren't there that he was hoping. Like it doesn't, if you're going to move him and it's not, if you're not getting back a good haul, you probably shouldn't move him. Hughes will make another splash at the draft. Ellen guarantees it. Honestly, I think he will. I think he'll try. I don't know. I don't think you can guarantee that because you don't know. You don't know if he'll be able to. It's not the easiest thing to do. And I don't want him to give up. Well, he won't give up a ton of shit. 24-year-old stud you build around him. Probably they're going to keep him. I would think, if you're smart, I'd keep him if I'm Philadelphia. If I'm Montreal, I don't know. I don't know. It'd be nice to, maybe, I guess it would be nice to have him, but what do you got to give up to get him? And it's at a point that Montreal doesn't need to add that goalie yet. So, and believe me, in 2-3 years, there'll be goalies like that around. There's always goalies around. All right. Out of comments, I was gonna go check and see how my video's doing. Not bad. I think the video I just put out today might be the fastest rise, in the views, like the fastest climbing. I don't know what the words to use. You got the most views quickest than any other video that I put out, I think. It's died down a little bit since the game came on, but it'll pick up again. I think after 6 hours, it was 6.5 hours. It had 1,200 views. I don't know if I've ever put a video out that got 1,200 views after 6 hours. What's not like Price? I'm not sure what you're saying. Bruins are shopping Allmark, so he could fit in Montreal. Yeah, no, I don't think so. First of all, look at the number. Like, what's he going to want? I don't. I don't think they're going to want to pay probably what Allmark is asking. I don't think they need to go out and get an Allmark right now. And also, it is Allmark a free agent or it's a trade thing? Because if they got a trade, Boston and Montreal don't usually trade either. They don't usually do any big kind of trades like Montreal, Toronto. Price was so good, they lost a lot of good goalies. Well, what do you mean by that? That they lost out on a lot of good goalies? I mean, yeah, I guess so, but they didn't need, it was a big problem, actually. They should have, they paid him so much that they weren't able to they weren't able to provide him with a quality backup. Let's put it that way. Allmark is there for 3 years at 5. So, I mean, that's an increase on what Allen is being paid. Like, I don't see them trading for Allmark. But he'd be UFA when they are, when you think about it, in 3 years, he'll be a UFA when they're just getting to be contenders, probably, right? The timing's not really great. Well, if you ask me. The first period of this game, at least the first 10 minutes, was really exciting. I dare say the rest since then has not been that great. It's probably been really tight. I don't know if there's been a lot of chances or not, but it's still 1-0. You got to think, man, Florida needs to win this game. Anyway, waiting for some comments. By the way, if you're thinking of leaving, before you leave, give a thumbs up. Appreciate that. And while you're here, if you look down there and you see the thumb, give it a click and give a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Those thumbs up drive the algorithm, although with 14 people in the room, the algorithm's not going to get driven that much, no matter what. Paul says, sorry, I've been a Montreal fan for 68 years. It's 2-0 Vegas. And they are not going anywhere this year. Yeah. Though, I'll tell you something. If they don't have the injuries like they had last year, and they make a couple of improvements here and there, when you say that, you know what? I'm not going to be shocked, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's not going to shock me if they actually make somewhat of a run at a wild card spot, but then drop out near the end of the season. But I could see them being like in the running for a while, like a lot longer than you might think. As long as the injuries aren't there and the rookies from last year don't have that sophomore jinx thing. But I don't know. I think we might be surprised that they're a lot better than we thought they'd be the next year. But otherwise, I do tend to agree with you. Comments drive the algo much more than likes. No, they don't. That was a few years ago. Every year the algorithm changes. They do whatever, and they're looking for something different. This year, it is almost strictly based on audience retention. So how long you guys watch the videos, and then whether or not you watch another one of mine, or at the very least stay on YouTube and watch something that was suggested on my, you might go to someone else, but you're still watching a video. That's what drives the algorithm this year. And not only that's what drives it this year, that's all that drives it this year. In other words, unless you're getting that, you're not driving the algorithm. You could be the greatest video, you could have all the comments you want in the world. You're not driving the algorithm. It changes every year, and it's a game, and I hate it because every year I got to do something different to help drive the algorithm. So, yeah, even the thumbs up and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that still drives the algorithm. It is good to have the interaction, but it's not. It's not the important one. And I'm telling you, it changes every year that I've been doing this. Every year, yeah, this year the algorithm, you need to do this. This year you need to do that. Every year there's a new hurdle to jump over. Montreal is a bubble wild card team next year. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll get I don't think they'll still be there in the last few weeks of the season. I think they'll drop out by then, but I think up until then, they will be. And it's what we want. You want to see that because every year they should get a little better until they get that ultimate prize. Um, Paul, I'm not saying that you're wrong because I'm not, but the experience those young kids got on defense last year could be invaluable next year and going down the road. Yeah, Phil, when you watch my stuff like that all the way through, that's what drives the algorithm. That absolutely does. But you know what? To think that everyone's going to do that, no. They say you want to shoot for 60% retention. Honestly, if you're getting 40 to 50 and you're always in there, like say you're always around 40, 45, yeah, it's pretty good. And it'll drive the algorithm. But if you're getting 20% retention, you're not driving anything except driving yourself to an early grave from worrying about it. I used to worry about all those things. I don't anymore. I don't. I just putting them. I'm trying to put the effort into the work, and as the work gets better, all that stuff will fall into place, and I don't lose sleep over it anymore. I did. I'm sure. I know I did, but I don't anymore. Which is why when you see me here right now, or you see me on a video, I'm much more relaxed and calm because I don't worry about those things anymore. There's no need. The more I worry about my performance, the worse my performance is. That's what she said last night too. I wonder why. Never swear. Oh, okay. You said swear. And I don't believe in that either, but I do believe in not overdoing the swearing at all. Swear word here and there. It's not going to kill anybody. But in general, I save them for when I really want to use them instead of wasting them all. Hey, Phil, say hi to the wife for me. I appreciate that. And have a great night. And thanks for being here. I appreciate that too. As always. All right. Who's going to make up for all the Phil's been keeping me going? A big contributor here tonight. Who's going to step up to the plate? I require input. And I will, just ask me anything you want to know because I know everything. Now, if I know, I'll tell you, or I'll tell you what I think, or I'll tell you nothing. No soup for you. Well, we made it over an hour. Gonna go about another 10 minutes, maybe. Say 10 minutes. 3-0 Vegas. Oh boy. Vegas Golden Knights are gonna be the Stanley Cup champions. And if I think, even though I know he probably didn't hear me, but I think with his senses, he heard me, Gary Bettman. And right now he's saying to his wife, "Oh, look." Yeah, I got to think pretty much. I feel for Bobrovsky. You know, that 10-day layoff was not good for him. That screwed his momentum, and his was not good. It's too bad. Yeah, Cam, it looks like I think you're going to be right. I think you're going to be right. They're going to lose. They lost the other game. They're going to win here tonight. Yeah, I think Florida's going to be really freaking challenged to win in Vegas next time. Would I take Myers' contract on and get Vancouver's 19th, excuse me, with overall this year? I'm a little prejudiced to Tyler Myers. Why? Because I haven't forgotten. I've forgotten who he did it to. He did something, and then remember Edmondson had to fight him, and it was a dirty thing he did. It's a few years ago now. I guess I'm holding a grudge. But I think your point is good in that, and it's been talked about a lot, that Montreal might do another like Sean Monahan kind of deal, right, where they take on a bad contract to get a draft pick or something good. And I just don't know if it's going to be Myers, honestly. But I mean, it could be. I don't know. I like that too much, but I'll tell you one thing: he's big. Do you know how much? Like, is there only 1 year left on Myers? Because I wouldn't like if it's more than 1 year left on his contract, it's not happening. They're only going to do this with a guy with 1 year left. J-Fed watched Marinaro show last night. Did I? No, I did not. He had a few special guests on. Kirk Muller. Kirk Muller scored the winning goal to win the Stanley Cup in 1993. Serge Savard and Stéphane Lebeau. Awesome. Was decent talking the 93 Cup run. I'm going to J-Fed. I'm like, thanks for telling me about that. I didn't know what it was all about. That sounds interesting. I'll go look for that. Probably tonight. I did see though, like his post on Twitter. That's how I know, because he posted, I think, about Muller and the game-winning goal and stuff like that. So I think that's So I saw that. Cam, I definitely want to side with you on that. I don't really like. Yeah, I don't like. It doesn't sit well with me to take Tyler Myers. So. Nicholas, I don't think you're wrong that we couldn't live with that. It's the player. I don't think I want to have him here, but I'd love the 19th pick too. And they'd love another first round pick. I don't know that they're going to take on his, but then again, this management group, I don't think was here when that happened. So maybe they don't have that bias about it. Yeah, well, I'm going to take that recommendation probably, Jay. If not tonight, I'll watch it probably during the day tomorrow or something. Well, we're getting to the end. Anything you might want to talk about before I take off here in another 5 minutes or so? I'll be happy to talk about it. I've got a somewhat busy day tomorrow, so no videos coming out tomorrow. I can tell you that. Besides, I just put a video out. It's doing really well, and I want to see how long it runs. as you notice, I put out less videos. Do you know the weird thing is, and I've heard this before. Like I sort of study. Like I how do I want to put it? It's not lessons exactly, but there's people out there that teach you how to do about YouTube. One thing that I was taught that I never did was, because I'm in sports, you got to put out a lot of videos. And they always said, try putting out a little bit less, put more into them. And even if it's half your output or less, you're going to get a better result with that less than with the more. And that's what's happening. I'm putting out less videos, but I'm putting more into them, and the results are better than before. So who'd have thunk it? So I don't have my next target. And when I say target, I don't know what my next video is going to be exactly. I'm going to write. I'm in the middle of a few poems. I'm going to write, and something will click. I don't know what, though. By the way, this is something I haven't been meaning to say. I think I'm down to like 15 members. But if you're a member and you haven't, there's a members only video I put out like a month ago. Only 5 people have watched it. Apparently, it's a lot easier to find them now, the members only stuff. So if you're a member, check it out. What it was, I was writing an intro for a video. So I sat down, I put the camera on, and I spent whatever it took me to write the intro. I was on camera. Anyway, I edited it a little bit, and it's out there. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And if you're not a member, take a membership. It's only $1.99 a month, and you can see those. And there's other membership videos there that haven't been watched. And apparently, like I said, they're a lot easier to find now. So, yeah, so members, please check that out. Lucas, I'm not sure how you do it exactly, but I know there was an update in my YouTube studio about that this is a new thing. Members' videos are easier to find. As a matter of fact, when I uploaded that last one, I used to have to do a certain thing to upload it and put a community post, and that's how you'd find it. Didn't have to do that anymore because it gets out there. So check your notifications. It's probably in your notifications. It's like from a while back, though. Montreal Alouettes win? They're playing? What? Didn't even know the Owls were playing. YouTube is a hard place to navigate. I think at times for certain things it is. I know for members videos it is really hard. But like I said, they updated that. They finally fixed it. Maybe they didn't fix it that well. I don't know. But I know it's when I upload, they're different. It's a different. It uploads differently. So it's nothing spectacular. This members video. It's just me sitting here at the desk, smoking, writing, and talking to the camera. You may look at it and go, hey, his therapist might want to see that. I don't know. Maybe good to send him those. I don't have a therapist. I may need one, but I don't have one. CFL season started this weekend. Did not know that. For creators, is it hard to navigate? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but I think if you're a creator who isn't interested in learning about the platform and how it works for creators before you start to do it, it could be. I think it could be a lot more difficult to navigate. I didn't do that when I started putting out videos. I started studying, from the people who were out there teaching. I never saw any of those people before I started putting out videos, and then I guess it started feeding me these YouTube gurus. Some of them are full of shit. Most of them are full of shit, but there's some really good ones out there, and I follow them still, and watch videos every now and then just to remind me about stuff. But yeah, I started to learn really early. Like I was doing 16-hour days, trying to do videos and also trying to study it. And so I kind of know stuff about it. that I might know what to do a lot of things that I don't do well, yet I know what to do. I just don't do it well. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah. No, I don't find it that difficult to navigate now because I kind of know what I'm doing, I guess. Although the analytics can be really, like, I don't do deep dives in analytics. I don't know how to study that. I do some analytics, I look and see, and it helps. It does definitely help, but I don't go deep diving into there, as they say. But definitely the analytics, like I've improved my thumbnails, right? And it was a really good one for the PLD. How do I know? Because I don't think I've ever had 15.7% on the click-through rate for the thumbnail when a video that was already out 6 hours, and it was still at 15.7%. That's a good thumbnail. It'll drop, and it'll probably get down to about 5 or 6%, but that's really good still. My thumbnails usually get 1 or 2% in the end. Oh, it's 3-2. No, 3-1. They just got one. Excuse me. Florida just got one. Well, you know what? I just looked up at the time, and it's at an hour and 21 minutes. 121 is a special number for me. So on that note, I'm going to take off. I used to do I did courier work a lot in my life. My very first courier job, pretty much my very first job, that was my number, 121. So I see it a lot in time on the clocks and stuff like that, and that's a special number for me. And we're at that, so I'm going to take that to say goodnight. It was a lot of fun tonight. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did too. And hey, if you haven't checked out the PLD video, it's out there. Please check it out. Hopefully you guys will like it. It's a little bit on the long side, but I thought I was pretty thorough. So maybe watch it over 2-3 times, but I thought it was pretty thorough about everything. And let me know what you think when you watch it in the comment section. All right, I'm going to take off, and I'll be back on Wednesday. If something breaks, I'm going to do a video. As soon as I find my next target, I'm going to do a video. I do have a poem video that I have ready to go, but it's a lot of work. I'm going to start on that probably as well. And hopefully you guys will look for all that. Thanks for being here. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And I'll see you soon. Have a good night, everybody. It's only 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Lots of time to do lots of shit. Ciao, everybody. Enjoy.